Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing tonight? It is Wrap It Up. I am your host tonight, as all nights on Wrap It Up, the Dr. Aaron Hurd. Normally with me is Justin. Justin was called away at the last minute. We had him on the thumbnail. He was going to be here. But I'm rolling it solo tonight, but do not let that discourage you, for we have a great show looking at what's coming down from the big track, babies. Ooh. Oh, I wish I was going, to be honest with you. I went to last week's race because we're based here in Bristol, and wow. Listen, I pull for the home team all I can. I love Bristol, but man, that was rough. That was a hard one. I questioned at one point, should I keep going to as many races as I do? Honestly, sitting in the stands, I was like, we're just watching traffic happen. It was insane. But you know what? The man kicked their butt. He absolutely whooped them. I appreciate that. Justin's son got to talk to Kyle Larson while we were there on Sunday, and he told him to go out and lap the whole field like he had the day before, and Larson said he was going to try to, and boy, did he ever try to. More than I could have ever imagined. Folks, we got a great show for you. Hang with me. We got some stuff going on here. We're going to look at every single car they're going to run down in Dega and talk about what happened at Bristol, give away some free stuff, and just share some love. Hold on with me, will you please? Oh, I'll tell you what, folks. The Bristol race, it was rough. It was actually rough. I've been to some rough races. I've been to some things. Bristol Spring especially gets a little low, but man, especially I'll say this on Saturday, the X race, maybe the least people I'd ever seen at Bristol. And I mean that's saying a lot with coming up years. Here's Victor. Look, Victor wants some stuff. Got some awesome swag sent to him. You can too. You can pick who wins this week's race, Dega, in the comments. And if you're right, we put you all in a pool, and one of you gets a prize. Man, what about this guy? Can he do it again? He's going to run that same paint scheme he's been running all of his life here at Hendrick. Can he pull off? Probably not. He does not have a good record when it comes to the plate tracks, and especially not Dega. This man right here wishes he had a few more laps or some kind of car that could make something happen. He's a very good plate track driver. Honestly, he's a good driver everywhere. I hate on him a lot, but, I mean, he's one of the best of all time. I don't know. I was so happy not to see him get it, but I wanted him to get to the 5 so much just to see something happen, just the least little bit of anything take place at Bristol. But even though I'm by myself, we're still going to rate it up. We're up to number 11 car for the week. No other time will we see the 11 this year. So this brings us to, wow, what is this like, folks? We're not used to having it this fast, are we? I'm going to go right out on a limb. Nope, I'm not going to change it. See, yeah, obviously I hate it, right? I'm going to say a 2. I'm going to give it 2 tires. Out of 4, what do you think in the comments? Progressive's a new sponsor coming in for him. Honestly, he's had much worse schemes, but it's pretty basic. And it has a giant P on the hood, which, why not put flow on there? I would have definitely raised my tire rating. I would have put 3 on it instead of a 2. It had flow. I know there's a little flow on the back, but that's not good enough for me. All right, what we got? We got Victor saying a 4. Yeah. Everybody catch up with me there. Throw them up in the ratings. It's a boring race. Denny Hamlin can be a boring man sometimes. He's got what I think is a pretty good boring scheme here. Third place, the 54, his best finish of the year. Oh, my gosh. Oh, he's had a terrible year, right? Absolutely. I kind of like this scheme because it's something different. The man drives a black car absolutely constantly. Let him have a little something different. And you don't see a lot of, you do. Every single week you see the number 21 car kind of look like this. I started saying a red and white, but I was lying. I was lying to you, and I was lying to myself, wishing that it didn't happen so much. There's a 2 throwing up on that 11 there. I'm in agreement with you. Ty Gibbs, Maybe on a roll. He has a pretty good average rolling out. Speaking of averages, let me back up. We're gonna do one thing here. I've got something new for you. Nobody else has this. I have searched the internet wide. People have data where they take race winnage, race winners, and they put it back in the format of the Winston Cup points. They make hypothetical things. They F1 points. What if this happened? What if that happened? This kind of track, that kind of track. But I can find nowhere that we have statistics tracing which paint schemes run best where. And so I have begun this chore. And I can tell you, I'm through a couple of years now, but I can tell you for what happens in this season right now, people who have ran the same paint scheme more than once fall into this chart and who has the best average. You can see the DeWalt paint scheme by Christopher Bell, best average, under 2 so far this year. One thing, though, I'm pointing out here is the first one of these schemes that's being run this time on this chart is the progressive one. So the best scheme running as far as its average on track for this year is Denny Hamlin in the progressive scheme, which is just above a 2. Denny Hamlin's great at this track. This man could show up and win. The facts don't lie. Even though it's a paint scheme, there's data to prove it. 19 coming back with the same paint scheme he's had. Man, I thought he would have a better shot at Bristol. 4th's not bad, but honestly, I expected him to challenge for the lead. But then again, nobody challenged for the lead, did they? It was all pointless. The 19 here, running the same thing, and he does not have a good average when it comes to Talladega at all. Not a bit. Do not put your money on the 19 this week. The 12, talk about somebody who's got a good average.
That is a big
Man, he knows what to do and how to get it done down in Dega. He knows exactly how to pull that off. He's a man who I think by the time his career's over, he may be challenging Dell Sr. for numbers there. Of course, we still got Brad Keselowski in the race. He's still getting up there himself. So, man, I love this scheme. It's so freaking hot. One of my favorites of what's running this year so far. Absolutely love it. The 24, going back to Valvoline. I like this Valvoline scheme, you know. Sometimes they get a little crazy on the 24, some stuff, but this one's holding its own pretty well this year. 24 doesn't have that great of finishes going on as far as the plate tracks go right now. None of Hendrick does. They're having a lot of problems. Getting a lot of crashes and things. So, you know, if you're playing the odds, that's not where to go. The one is consistently, especially at Dega, getting top 10s. Look at the dude over here. He's just wearing the American flag. It's a little bit different than it was last year. Didn't it have, like, the actual blue at the start of it last year, I believe, other than just the one? I don't know. I can't make up my mind whether I like it or not. It looks weird. I do like the blue number. But the rest of it, I don't know. I start getting all, is this a candy cane? You know, it's almost kind of loses its flagness. Is that a word? Flagness? Yeah. I've been ringing the bell too much, hitting the head. I'm not sure what's a real word and what's not. Sport Clips making their first start, perhaps their only start, on the number 20 this year. This is the only, we've seen a picture of it setting in the shop that's very blurry, so this released side photo was the best thing we could pull out. I don't think they finished working on it yet. Looks just like Hamlin's, you know, what can you say? Same old, same old. Here's the 16. Man, he had a great finish at Bristol for what his average has been. He has a great average coming into Dega that he could maybe pull off something, actually, and get a top 10. I like the green Grizzly. I know it has a giant warning label on it, which kind of breaks up everything a little bit. But also, at the same time, I just dig that green so much with that full number. Oh, I think it's sexy. I don't know if you should say that about a car, but I will. I'm willing to go that far. You know who will be 35 on Sunday during the race? That will be Mr. Austin Dillon. It will be his birthday. The last time a driver won on their birthday was Kyle Busch. And I believe that was that Talladega? When he won in the 8 car? We got it right over here somewhere, yeah. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me switch the cameras. You see it better right there? Take this down. Is that it? Yeah, you can get it in the camera shot. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, back to the 3. Honestly, should be one of the 3's best runs of the year coming up. Plate Tracks is where he he gets his gravy from. You know what I'm saying? He's better at Daytona than he is at Dega, but still, good possibility for him to make some numbers. Speaking of a man who's making up numbers, oh my word. He's just getting under the old men, the veterans' skin by being in positions that they want to be in. Oh, it's a beautiful thing, getting some young guy up there. And Chili's loved it. They ran this last week. They're going to run it again. I don't know if they paid for it all at once or they decided to just up it as it went, but he got a good finish, so Chili's is coming back. We got a bunch of Spire news if you haven't heard. I was going to wait till the 7, but Rodney Childress is already gone from Spire as of today. He made it, what was that, like 8 races, right, in the number 7 car with Justin Haley, and they have mutually agreed to part ways. It's hard for me to think that Spire released a statement, though, that kind of sounded like, oh, he just wasn't working for us. But that's hard to believe that it wasn't Rodney that isn't like, you guys don't know what the crap you're doing. But that's a possibility. Who knows? I've heard Michael McDowell complaining about kind of the same thing. Number 21 coming in, only Ford that's won the whole year. Man, what happened? Doesn't have great averages. He gets in a lot of crashes at plate tracks. But, man, I'm happy the 21 won this year. I'd love to see him win again. You've got to be happy for the Wood brothers. If you don't like the Wood brothers, you're some kind of communist. I don't know what to tell you. Oh. Here he is, the number 7. They haven't said who the new crew chief's going to be, or at least they haven't told me. Somebody should show up and do that. I would imagine that it's somebody already with the team, probably the car chief, that's going to be promoted. You got to remember also, the 7 has a new crew. Their crew got switched with the 5 car. You may say, how the crap does that happen? Well, Big Rick, you know Rick, right? He owns and runs everything because he's got so much money. Well, Rick, straight gangster, I'm telling you what, he decided that the 7's pit crew was faster, and so he gave it to Kyle Larson. And they won a race last week. Kyle Larson's pit crew that he'd been working with is now relegated back to the 7, and now no crew chief. So the whole team has quit on him. Basically, wow. New scheme from the man in the 8.
He's a piece of crap.
Not that. That's the wrong button, man, and I hate that I hit it. This is my favorite
his whole career.
I didn't want Joey Logano to talk bad about him. I didn't like this at first when I saw it because I saw the side view, and it had all of those cartridges back there of your mouth pillows, lip pillows. But after I saw the front end, I'm like, you know what? It kind of pulls it together better. I kind of like it. It's got like a wave deal there. I mean, for, again, a car that's got to have a giant warning label on the side of it, in a lot of words, they did what they can. The colors are interesting. It's very different than what you normally see with those fades and those tones. So they might have made the best of what they had. So I've seen worse things. I'll give it that. I've seen worse things in life. What about the 9? He starts this week in the big prime scheme. Ooh, he's going to run this for 5 weeks. Oh, my goodness.
Talking about history,
because Prime is picking up coverage coming up, and they want you to remember, hey, pay Amazon money so you can watch the race, right? Who wouldn't do that? Look at this man in the 6 building submarines. Oh, my goodness. Patriotism right there. That's America. Talladega, Alabama, and submarines. There's nothing more America in the world. I don't know. Oh, man. Could he get it done? Listen, he got second, 2 times last year? Both races? He definitely could get it done. That's a freaking stat to even be up front both times. Much less second. Oh, here's the 2. The 2, supposed to be a plate track driver, right? Every time anything ever happened, of course, he won this first, the Daytona 500, but that was supposed to be his big thing, that and road courses. But for some reason, he's lit up on some other things, like miles and a half, and seems to have dropped off on the big tracks a little bit. But we'll see this weekend what he's got. He's in Menards. He's got Quaker State. I'm surprised they didn't save that one for the Quaker State 400 or what, but maybe they'll double up. Oh, the 45. Man, 45 comes alive. He won last year, of course, at Dega. He's got the Xfinity mobile paint scheme, which is pretty freaking simple and pretty freaking bland. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not digging it that much. It does get its point across just by looking at it, right? You just see, okay, that's very technical.
I'm not a robot. I'm a human.
Very to the point, just nothing but text, code written there. But, man, he could win this freaking race. He is come alive at these plate tracks. And his teammate, Bubba, very good at those tracks as well, who has also won at Dega, has been right there behind him. They are going to be a force to deal with, I guarantee it, coming Sunday. There he is. Look at that. Even at Bristol, they lined him up. They're both all dressed up in this white and purple. Man, it's a big white and purple week over there. Get Michael in here, see what he can. We couldn't hear him. There he is, though. Yeah, get some help. Stop it. Get something other than white and purple over there. Oh, my goodness. The match made in heaven. Celsius is back. Kroger's is always there, just pawning off other drinks. So this time they just doubled up, and instead of Celsius getting their own car, Kroger did a deal to give Celsius one of their cars, and here we are with this monstrosity of Frankenstein of sponsorship pushed together. Absolutely unhappy about it. It's not good. It could have been good. You could have pulled it together. Like if it didn't have the blue Kroger on the front, you just had that black C there. Totally. Could have been a cool car. You ruined it. Do better. Oh, my goodness. All of a sudden, Jack Links. Have y'all noticed this? They got a bunch of money that they're sending to NASCAR. This race is the Jack Links race, title sponsorship. They were on the hood, of course. That's through the Menards deal on the 2. And now they've showed up at Legacy Motorsports, and they're taking over with the Dollar Tree, doing a co-op deal with them. I kept asking myself when I saw this, why in the world is it plaid for there's a Sasquatch. There's not like a mountain man like Bush with plaid. And then I saw a commercial where they had the Sasquatch at Legacy Motorsports throwing things around, and he, for some reason, wears a plaid shirt now. Okay. Victor's saying wrap of the week down there on the 42. Wow, okay. Hey, you got to give it to him. The flannel and the big giant woodland mythical creature. You can't go wrong. It's true. It's got energy. Speaking of energy, here's the NOS. It's always looked good on this car, honestly. Looks good again. I'm glad they're back with Ricky. I wish they'd do more with him. Definitely could be a contender. This is Ricky's big opportunity. He always thinks this. He's won here multiple times. And with that in mind, Ricky, I think, throws it out there extra hard. So it's a lot of times just wreckers or trekkers for your boy Rick. And that's most weeks, though, isn't it really? Don't you think? Royal King, 2 weeks in a row. What? They have got so much money over there. Oh, it's chicken season. They're selling those little chicks. Go get you some little chicks. They turn into full-grown chickens that lay eggs. Did you know this? These are tips I'm passing on to you to how to save money. We got this big egg shortage. Everybody's all about eggs. They come out of chickens. Get money. That's all you got to do. Go to Royal King, get you a chicken. All right, number 22, Pennzoil, baby. Listen, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I like this one better than the last few he's had the last few years. It's okay. It's not great. He could be a contender at the big track. He usually is, but Penske hasn't really done great so far this year. But maybe they're just saving it up. They have won, the last several cups in a row. Let's not think they don't know what they're doing. Coming in 17. Oh, man. What about you, boy, down in the 17? I thought he was going to have a better race. All the way back in 25th place. 3 laps down. But I do like this paint scheme. The Travel America, for some reason, it does look like just a big billboard and everything's there, but it's just laid out well. Like it's not got crazy or anything. They didn't try to impress anybody. But they did a good job, and they pulled it off. Sometimes you just got to stick to the basics, You can't get carried away.
Who did this to my freaking car?
Oh, the 43. Okay. So last year they picked up a sponsor called Macy Trucking over at Legacy, and the 43 ran one race with them. They had a big meeting down in Nashville where they brought in the show car and all the employees and all this stuff. And that's what was even on the entry form. But when the paint scheme shows up, it says Tri-State Vacuum and Rental LLC. But then even on Legacy's website, they're showing this with one of the big trucks. Apparently, the Macy Trucking people own also Tri-State Vacuum and Rental, and they decided our equipment rental place needs a car more than the trucking company. I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of hot, honestly, the more I look at it. If it just didn't say Tri-State Vacuum Rental on it, you can just miss that "and" there. I'd love to just have a place where you could just go rent vacuums, then take them back. You don't have to clean them. They break, how they do all the time. And you got to buy a new one, just rent one. Treat it like crap. I mean, they used to do that with carpet washers, right? Oh, my goodness. Zane Smith. Zane Smith actually has not great. He has good stats for Zane Smith at Talladega. So if you can place a bet, if you do it before qualifying on DraftKings, you get in there, you can place like top 10 bets on who will just get a top 10. After qualifying, though, they go to mixing it up, and they're like, we know more, and we don't want you taking long shots. So you got to get your base knowledge there and set it up like that. All right. There we go. Let's keep going. On the 48, 35. 35 does not run that great, you would think that was his bread and butter, just putting him in plate tracks. But he doesn't have that great of a stats. Now, he was running well at one point. He was like, what was he, second or leading last year? I definitely remember that. But his finishes just aren't closing out. But he is a young guy, rookie, even though he's been in Xfinity for how many years? Anybody know off the top of their head? I don't. It was quite a few. Oh, my goodness. Do you know who it is? It's Cold Custard himself. Oh, my goodness.
That's the corn dog man.
Not the corn dog man. He's the ice cream man. He is the human man who was made out of ice cream. Kind of like the Frosty story, you saw in the old animation. Except that's kind of how Cold Custard came to life. And if you look at him, you can tell he's just a large blob of cold frozen things thrown on top of each other in a ball. And that's him. Cole is not having a great year. Cole is averaging most in the late 20s and several races even further back behind that. So it's not going too well so far, especially for this supposedly being 100% like the fourth RFK car, getting everything that the three RFK cars get. They have ran much better, so you got to put this on Cole's shoulders here. He's got too much custard to carry. You can get the gunk out over at the 71, though. Michael McDowell had this with him when he was back at Front Row Motorsports, which I'm almost guessing at this point he really wishes he still was. But he's got the gunk, and it's not a bad scheme. Orange and blue, it's all right. They put the product on there. The word's big. What do you want out of these people? See best. Oh, from the man himself.
Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon. Yep. Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon, best finish of the year, 14th. That was Daytona. So plate track could be good for him. He had some really good runs, even in like qualifying and everything at Daytona. He's got a lot of experience, honestly. He's not had good finishes on most other places the rest of the year. It's kind of been downhill. But he's had some decent runs. But he could wind up with a decent finish, maybe top 15 coming this weekend for Big Ty. Oh, man, look at this. You know what? I don't know. I honestly didn't know going into the show what my rap of the week was going to be. I really didn't. I couldn't make up my mind, and I'm just going to throw it right here. I think this pushes over. I'm going to give Suarez and the Frosty, Colgate paint scheme. It kind of looks like a toothpaste. Stay Frosty. Oh, yeah, I like that. There you go. That's good. Frosty Swirls. Ah, yes. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I hadn't seen anything about Frosty Swirls other than just this deal here, and I really didn't hear anything Suarez was saying during it. I was just looking at cars. So, but they got some color to it. They got a giant girl's face on the front of it. Reptilian of the week, Matt says. Yeah, Reptilian of the week. She's just right there on the front. It is kind of psychedelic. The 34, man, speaking of Michael McDowell wishing he was somewhere. Todd Gilliland, though, honestly, Talladega is a pretty good place for him. He can get some pretty decent finishes. Again, if you want to go bet early, if you're one of these people that like to do that, if you spend the big money like I do, I may spend, I don't know, on average $100 a year. I get nuts with it. So if you're going to do that with the long shots, put you $1.34 on Todd Gilliland to get a top 10 and win you $5. See what happens. Oh, my goodness.
It's Cody wearing the 51. Look out on pit road.
Look at him. He's darkened it. He's went completely blacked out for the Arby's, because now it's Arby's plus or buy times AC barbecue. I believe that's what it says. We haven't seen the hood or anything. It's got some green trim down around everything, which is very interesting to me. This could be a good scheme. It could be terrible. I don't know. I need to see the rest of this one. I don't trust it. I don't want to make anything go out there. One thing I can say, though, is I did see a stat today. Your boy here, Cody, and one other person. Who was it? Cody and, Riley Herbst. They're the only people who don't have any single stage point the entire season so far. So that's pretty bad. At no point were they in the top 10 when a stage ended. Amazing. 48, again, Hendrick, honestly, of late, has not been killing it when it comes to plate tracks, especially Dega. And the 48 is no exception. He honestly, I thought he was going to have a good Bristol. I really did. And here you go. He fell into the clutches of falling down and being damaged all to pieces at the end there, all the way back to 37th. Oh, but, it happens sometimes. It's a good thing maybe Justin couldn't make it. He was busy. He had an emergency appointment to go look at the sun or something. Something useful like that. He was going to stare into the sun. But he absolutely, when your boy Van here ran this, absolutely hated it, if you remember. And I think most of us, the people in the chat and me, we were more favorable of it. Justin was dead set against it. So they're going to run it again since he's not on the show. Terrible race. Honestly, the 88, he's having a terrible season, truthfully. I mean, he is a rookie. He needs time, but he's doing worse than I thought he would, honestly. He had some good runs in trucks and some Xfinity stuff there. So, guess who this is? First open car that we've got of the week. The same person it always is when we don't have a scheme. It's the 44, folks. Oh, we think they just have a 18-wheeler with one car in it, and the owner drives the 18-wheeler to the race, and somebody calls an Uber to go get J.J. Yaley, and we're left with what we have here. So we've got no paint scheme for the 44. Total fail. Absolutely. But the 62's coming in. They've had this deal with the man here for a little while, Mr. Alfredo, Anthony, that is. And we're going to run 2 races, I believe was the original plan with him. And he was going to be the new guy. It's kind of the 62's very limited schedule deal. Well, that's changed. They announced this week, all of a sudden, Jesse Little will now take over several races for the 62 coming up. But this week, still Alfredo. He's got the same Fortify paint, not paint scheme, sponsor that he had last year. But honestly, they've updated it a little bit and gave it some color, and I kind of dig it. And honestly, the 62 being yellow with the red, it's kind of very South Point Bank, very maybe calling back to their boy from South Point. So why does his name leave me? Oh my gosh, it'll come to me later when we're 3 cars down the road, or one of you will think of it. He drove the 62 there. He was the man who was holding it together for him. Oh, looky, BJ's here. Whoa. Oh. Listen, BJ will throw it out there. He'll give it all he's got. He's in limited races. I told you earlier in the year, I received information. This is owned by BJ and some other folks. This is going up in Pigeon Forge. If you've ever been
Bristol,
to Bristol, you've probably been by Pigeon Forge, unless you're heading up north, I guess. Maybe you haven't. You should probably go that way. That's where all the people here go. But anyway, on vacation, or I see a lot of Ohio plates, people coming down there. Anyway, they're building more stuff. They build so much stuff you can't see the mountains anymore. And they're building this. It's not called the NASCAR Racing Coaster. It's just called Racing Coaster. And the advertisement did have the NASCAR colors kind of in a little thing behind it, but they didn't say anything about NASCAR. They have not paid for any NASCAR money. But BJ is going to have a deal, and it's one of these mountain coasters. They have several of them down there that use gravity to roll around. Well, they're going to have it where two of them race against each other. That's kind of a cool idea if you're going to do that. BJ's own company, something you might want to stop by and check. And it's not too bad looking, honestly. He's had much worse paint schemes. And that takes us back to the 5 who dominated that freaking Bristol race like there was no tomorrow. And it turned out there was a tomorrow that showed up. But that takes us through the entire field of 39 cars that are going to run Dega this weekend and brings us to the part of the show where I'm going to tell you who I think's going to win down at the big round track. Normally we would throw it. Brandon Gaughan there. Yes, thank you. Thank you. It was Brandon Gaughan. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, Jesse Love, somebody says here, yeah, same person, to the 62. That not this week, but coming up. That's what it said. Anyway, where I'm going to give y'all that winner. And, man, don't bank on it. I did pick the winner right last week. I picked the winner right of the Daytona 500. And so far, that's the only picks that have been correct. So keep that in mind. Don't bet your house or anything on my word. But based on the data I've seen, the finishes that happened, the historical precedent.
Talking about history,
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Big Bad Brad pulls the submarine into victory lane, fires that torpedo down there, gets another Ford, another win, and locks it in this weekend. He's so close all last year. He's needing this team to pull out some wins. I'm telling you, Brad can make this happen. If I had to make a second pick, and I mean, this was so hard not to pick this, I would win 45. I think 45 is going to be a tough contender, so that's my thing. 6:45 coming to the line, and then they are going to throw a caution and make them run 4 more laps, and everybody's going to run out of gas, and then they're going to find out the leader's back end was too low, and the guy who was in 28th place is now the winner. That's my prediction. We'll see what happens. Put it in the comments. If it's in the comments, it counts on any one of our social medias. Folks, we appreciate you watching this show more than you will ever know. We are available for contact all over the world through our Meat Line phone number. You can mail something to our P.O. box that we will redistribute to people in giveaways if it's, nice and clean, new. Any of those things. You can contact us through the social. On the social there, we're also on Spotify now that they have video casts now. Check that out. We're just a few episodes have gone up there. I think that I would ask Justin to kill time and we'd talk about stupid crap, but nobody else is here. So other than me rattling on, I'm going to bid you all a great farewell. Good night. I love every single one of you, and I appreciate you so much for watching the show. Y'all have a great night. Let's watch Dega. See y'all next week. Holla back.